Today we celebrate our PTA accomplishments from this past year, install new PTA executive officers also to our council for the upcoming year, and most of all, celebrate these 13 soon-to-be college freshmen, and reflect on the future our youth promise to bring through a combination of excellence in education, personal achievement, and often their own commitment to service. We will begin this delicious brunch in a few moments, but first we are going to take care of a few PTA Council business items. Some introductions. I am Shannon Silverman, and standing next to me is Julie Birnbaum. We both served as co-presidents of the PTA Council this year. It's incredible. For over 50 years, our PTA Council has operated to bring together all the PTAs in Arlington Heights School District 25 for conference with each other, collaboration across the district, promoting educational and informational programs for parents and everyone in our community, and providing PTA leadership development and training. Things definitely change over the course of 5 decades, but our goal remains constant and very simple. We are here to cooperate intelligently in the education of all children and youth through creative and often fun programs and activities and advocacy. It has been an honor for us to serve on the PTA Council, working with all of our school PTAs, especially their PTA presidents, our own council officers, and our chairpersons, Dr. Jerome, her staff, the Board of Education, and all school principals and partners in our community.
Today, we want to say thank you to everyone here, to our District 25 teachers, staff, administration, students and their families, and to our many PTA volunteers. By working together, we create a greater positive impact and make a difference in the lives of our children and our youth. Our PTA members contribute over 14,000 volunteer hours each year to enrich the lives of more than the 5,000 students who attend our 9 district schools. Please know that we appreciate that all you do for PTA, our children, youth, and our families. Our current PTA Council executive officers are among those volunteers who contribute many hours of their time. At this time, we would like to invite to stand next to us up front our current PTA Council executive officers. Meline Hume, Barbara Morrison, and Lori Tangy.
Barbara, unfortunately, could not be with us today. She was unavoidably detained.
Melanie here is our first president of programs. We also have a second vice president of training, Darcy Ehrlich, but Darcy could not be with us today. Barbara Morrison, who also could not be with us today, was our treasurer, and Lori here is our secretary. We want to thank you for all your time and your assistance this past year with the Arlington Heights Councils of PTAs. We appreciate your leadership and willingness to jump in to assist us with all of the council meetings, activities, and events. A special parting thank you to Barbara Morrison and Noren Jay, to whom we must say goodbye because they have both served 2 full terms in their positions. As treasurer, Barbara managed our council's finances and tax reporting and provided support to the school PTAs as they managed their financial affairs. As secretary, Lori chronicled the business of all our council meetings for 2 years and kept us very organized. Barbara and Lori were invaluable assets in their positions, and their dedication to helping others was felt in the PTAs across the district. Please give all of our executive officers a round of applause as we present them with a small token of our appreciation.
Now we would like to welcome our new PTA Council executive officers for the 2013-2014 year. Please step forward and come up here to the front at this time to be installed into your new position. Co-presidents are Julie Birnbaum and Michelle Gledhill. Michelle can join us. First Vice President of Programs, Meline Hume. So Melanie, if I could ask you to step back up. Second Vice President of Training will remain Darcy Ehrlich, who could not be with us today. Treasurer, Holly Ragland, and Secretary, Katie Washko. It is my pleasure and privilege to install these officers who will provide the leadership of our PTA during the coming year. Members of the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs, having expressed their confidence and trust in these fellow members, you have been elected as executive officers. As officers, you have accepted the privilege and responsibility of serving this organization according to the bylaws and objectives of the National PTA. Yours is the responsibility of planning programs, projects, and fellowship that will determine the effectiveness of PTA. Do you acknowledge this responsibility and promise to strive diligently to promote the work of the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs according to its procedures and bylaws? If you agree, respond, "We do."
We do.
Thank goodness. On behalf of all members of the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs, Arlington Heights School District 25, and the Illinois PTA, I declare you duly installed officers for the 2013-2014 year. Congratulations and best wishes.
Welcome to the 39th Annual Scholarship Award Breakfast, sponsored by the Arlington Heights PTA Council. Thank you all for coming. I am Lisa Larson, and I am the co-chair of the Scholarship Committee with Sharon Jolly. We had fantastic assistance this year, we really did, from our co-presidents Shannon Silverman and Julie Birnbaum, and from volunteers Barb Baboyan, Angela Berry, Michelle Gledhill, Joyce Stenzel, Katie Washko, and Adrian Wassman. Thank you so much for making this event so special. We are here today to recognize the achievements of some of the finest graduates of this area's high schools. These students also represent some of the District 25's class of 2009, some of the finest. 4 years have passed since these students left District 25, and now they are graduating from high school. I'm sure parents next to these students can't believe that this day is already here. Since 1973, the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs has awarded close to $400,000 in scholarships to high school seniors who attended District 25 schools for a minimum of 3 years. This year, we are pleased to award a total of over $15,000 to 13 very deserving students. The largest source being the PTA Council and ABC 25 Foundation's 5K and 1 mile run-walk, the Just Move It Challenge, my favorite. Again this year, all 9 schools participated, with parents, teachers, and administrators running or walking to raise $18,000 for our scholarship program. On behalf of the Scholarship Committee, I'd like to thank Doris Downing, Race Director, Joyce Stenzel, ABC 25 President, the 1,000+ participants, of which 500 were students, and the 100+ volunteers for making this event successful once again. We would also like to thank this year's Scholarship Selection Committee, whose names are listed in the program on page 2. Take a look. This selection committee is made up of 9 readers every year, comprised of a balance of administrators and PTA committee members to ensure varied perspectives during the scoring process. The administrator, usually the principal, and a PTA member, usually the scholarship chair, alternate as readers so that each of them represents the school every other year. Readers spent many, many hours poring over the 50 applicants, all which have identifying information removed so that students are completely anonymous. Applicants are reviewed based on academics, paid and work volunteer experience, extracurricular activities, a student essay, and letters of recommendation. A huge thank you to all of our readers. Our gratitude also goes out to Dr. Jerome and her administration. Your continued support of the PTA, the Just Move It Challenge, and the scholarship program is greatly appreciated. And to all of the District 25 teachers and principals here today, especially those invited by the scholarship recipients, Thank you for your positive impact on these and so many other students. Again, we thank our council co-presidents, Shannon Silverman and Julie Berenbaum. They have truly contributed countless hours to make PTA Council all that it can be. Thank you both. And so, it begins. Anxious kindergartners lined up to walk into Dryden, Greenbrier, and Ivy Hill, and into the halls of Olive, Windsor, and Westgate. 6 years with wonderful teachers and classmates, the fun of movie nights, concerts, and book fairs. Suddenly, it seems, they are fifth graders and ready to move on. Middle school years at South and Thomas, finding their niche, developing strengths, basketball games and track meets, musicals and foreign languages, clubs and clubs and more clubs. They are getting ready for high school. The students we are about to meet have been embraced by the District 25 experience, and they have truly made the most of their time since they left our schools. These are the recipients of the 2013 District 25 Council of PTA Scholarships. We have asked them each to come forward, or maybe we haven't, so we're asking you now, and give a short speech in order for us to get to know you a little bit better. We have also asked that the recipients be joined on stage by their family, as well as their District 25 teacher. This teacher was invited because they had a significant impact on the recipient's education. So when I read your name, please come up to the podium with your family and teacher and share your thoughts. After we hear from you, Sharon will present you with your award, and then you can go back to your table and relax. In alphabetical order, we will begin with Alex Barata. Alex? Okay, I'm going to embarrass you now, Alex, okay? Alex is a senior at John Hersey High School and previously attended Olive Mary Stitt Elementary and Thomas Middle School. He is a varsity sports athlete in football, gymnastics, and wrestling. When off the field and out of the gym, Alex is designing and building in the robotics club, the DECA Business Club, where he was named a regional champion, and at state and regional competitions. Examples of his work include a high-mileage car, 400 miles per gallon, I understand. I'll take one of those, Alex. And a prosthetic leg for athletic competition. Alex is highly passionate about volunteering with children and has had the unique experience of serving elementary school students and orphanage children in both Costa Rica and the Volta region of Ghana. Yes, Ghana, I did say Ghana. Stateside, Alex worked as a camp counselor for children with special needs. Alex has earned multiple leadership awards, is at the top of his class, an honor student, and an AP scholar. He plans to study engineering at the University of Southern California. Please welcome Alex Barata, his family, and Ms. Deborah Berner from Thomas Middle School.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs for this honor. I'd also like to thank all the amazing teachers I had during my 9 years at Olive and Thomas. I'd like to especially thank Ms. Berner, who's here with me today. Of course, who could forget entire class periods dedicated to the art of mind reading or the occasional surprise yoga instruction? Ms. Berner's creative agenda taught me how to think outside of the box. Finally, I'd like to thank my mom and dad for their never-ending support. So I've come a long way since those days. I'd like to start off by reading two of the notes that my second grade teacher, Mrs. McQuillan, had me write home. Dear Mom and Dad, I had way too much energy and got in trouble on Friday. We were having an in-class field trip about trees. I put a Velcro apple in the wrong spot. I had to go to timeout. and I did it to make everyone laugh. From Alex. Dear Mom and Dad, I am sorry. I am sorry I stuck markers in my nose after Mrs. Bazrak told me not to, twice. I will not do it again. From Alex. I've come a long way from those days. The lessons I've learned and the confidence that I developed with the help of some amazing teachers through District 25 have led me to embark on some amazing adventures. Last summer, I met a little boy named Miracle while volunteering in Ghana. Miracle was just a little guy, maybe 5 or 6 years old, but he had this backpack that held all of his stuff in it, probably everything that he owned. He had his little hand held tight to the strap of this backpack all day, every day. Whether he was riding on my shoulders, playing with his friends, or learning in the classroom, he never let go of the backpack. But Miracle, like most of the other kids I met in Ghana, was incredibly happy, outgoing, and eager to learn. All the kids in Ghana were incredibly eager to learn. Miracle's school and community are drastically different than the one that I experienced in District 25. But my experiences in District 25 may be what brought me to Ghana in the first place and what makes me want to return someday. Character counts. The 5 pillars that we talked about every year have influenced the experiences that I've chosen, from volunteering with children abroad to volunteering as a counselor for disabled kids at home. And teachers like Mrs. McQuillan, Mrs. Watanuki, and Mrs. Berner, who taught me that anything worth doing is worth giving my best effort. These teachers have influenced the academic challenges that I found, like designing and building a high-mileage car or a robot for competition. The creative and challenging projects we tackled in our Odyssey classes were just the jumping-off point for my interest in engineering today. So now, I look forward to new adventures in engineering at USC with the fond memories of the years at District 25. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Those stories give me hope for my children. Our next recipient is Carolyn Brum. Carolyn? Carolyn is a senior at Prospect High School and attended Windsor Elementary and South Middle Schools. She is an active student council member and serves on her student class board. Her talent lies with theater, music, and dance. Carolyn began playing the violin at Windsor and continues to play performing in Prospect's Orchestra, the District Honors Orchestra, and yes, Chicago's Orchestra Hall. An active thespian, Carol has been involved in numerous productions at Prospect, where she is a dance captain and a lead choreographer. She also performs in community theater. Carolyn is passionate about volunteering. From Relay for Life to PADS to animal shelters to national initiatives such as the National Youth Gathering in New Orleans to help rebuild after Hurricane Katrina, Carolyn serves her community well. Carolyn is accomplished in the French language and spent time in Paris with the French immersion program. She is member of Prospect's speech team, an AP scholar, and an honors student. Please welcome Carolyn Brum, her family, and Miss Catherine Bolsinger from Windsor Elementary School.
Good morning. Being a student of District 25 for 9 years has dramatically affected my development both academically and socially as a student. Since the first day of kindergarten, when I lined up along with my fellow classmates to enter Windsor Elementary School, I was welcomed by teachers who had a passion for knowledge. There was not a day throughout my education in District 25 that included a teacher without a smile. It was through these teachers that my development as a well-rounded student began. My first experience in organized clubs were from South Middle School's 6th grade intramurals. Each game, whether it be soccer or basketball, that my homeroom participated in allowed me to develop friendships and to seek more clubs to join. Now in high school, I am currently student council treasurer, a District 214 honors orchestra member, and a student mentor. Through each of my endeavors, I have become socially stronger. Because of my strength, I am able to influence not only the environment of my high school positively, but my surrounding community as well. Every school year, I was encouraged and challenged academically by my teachers. Currently in the honors academic track of my high school, I continue the vigor in my education and prepare myself for a successful college career. It is because of my education in District 25 that I have developed my love for math and science. In taking action towards this passion, I have pushed myself not only to succeed in the honors courses of biology, chemistry, and physics, but I have also continued on to taking advanced placement biology. Continuing into college next year, I plan to pursue a biology major. Being a student in District 25 also taught me the value of dedication. In realizing my interest in science, I was able to find careers that fit me, including veterinary medicine and nursing, and then pursue these interests. This past summer, I attended North Carolina State University's vet camp, where I was able to expand my knowledge on what a career in veterinary medicine entails. For the duration of this camp, I learned the responsibilities of this career. Prior to this experience, I participated in shadowing opportunities and also volunteer opportunities to further expose me to this career. Overall, my education through District 25 has prepared me to become a successful, lifelong student through my development of dedication, social strength, and academic standing. I would like to thank my parents, my 2 sisters, Sarah and Anna, and my 2nd grade teacher, Miss Bolsinger, for inspiring me to become the best student that I can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Our next recipient is Carolyn Do Salvo. Carolyn, would you like to come up with your family, your teacher? Got to make your way up from the back. Carolyn is a senior at Prospect High School and attended Dryden Elementary and South Middle Schools. Carolyn is busy. She is the captain of Prospect's debate team, is a tutor in the Literature Center, is the curriculum head leader for the Knight's Way Leaders, and is active in the Scholastic Bowl and Italian Club. Carolyn enjoys volunteering and donates much of her time to her church community with Vacation Bible School, summer camp, and Bible studies. Carolyn's list of honors and recognitions are lengthy. Highlights include Dartmouth Book Award, Illinois State Scholar, 10 High Honor Awards for Illinois Congressional Debate Association, including Critics' Choice Award, First Place Speaker, Best Presiding Officer, and State Championship finalist. Carolyn is a straight-A student at the top of her class, an honor student and an AP scholar who plans to attend Wyoming Catholic College to prepare for a career, thank you, in education. Please welcome Carolyn Do Salvo, her family, Miss Lana Jo Berenger from Dryden Elementary.
Hi, good morning. I would like to start out by first thanking the PTA for selecting me for this scholarship. I know there were so many deserving candidates, and to be selected is such an honor. But now I'd like to tell you exactly why I am so grateful to have attended Arlington Heights School District 25 for 9 years. I have always loved school. I was built for school, and school is built for me. Each summer, the moment August rolled around, I began to pester my mother every day. I nudged, "Mom, when can we get my school supplies?" Or, "Mom, when can I find out who my teacher is?" It was not until 4th grade that I realized that I wanted to quite literally spend my entire life at school as a teacher. Although I had admired and aimed to please all of my teachers, my 4th grade teacher, Miss Maltese, now Mrs. Behringer as she is now married, became the exact type of teacher I wanted to be. Despite the fact that I always found school thrilling, Miss Maltese had the ability to make school exciting for even the boys who seemed to only care for recess before. Her teaching methods were peculiar, but all the more enticing at the same time. Instead of popcorn reading from our science textbook like I did in other grades, we made our very own blood. Corn syrup was the plasma, hot tamale candies were the red blood cells, sprinkles were the platelets, and Mentos mints were the white blood cells. While the other classes read and wrote reports on the California gold rush, our class sang and acted out a performance on the West for the entire school. Every morning, a classmate of mine would pick out a joke from one of our school joke books to start the day, and every afternoon, I would run home and gush with excitement to my mom about all the wonderful things I had learned that day. Too often, teachers fall back on conventional teaching methods that only reach a small percentage of students. But Ms. Maltese taught unconventionally in a way that not only grasped the attention of more of my classmates, but also ensured more of the information stuck with us. In District 25, Ms. Maltese was able to break the codes of traditional teaching and even given the resources to do so. Unfortunately, as I have matured, it has become more and more apparent to me that few teachers, even in Illinois, let alone the United States, are able to become like Ms. Maltese. Although I had my entire career planned after 4th grade to become a 4th grade teacher like Miss Maltese, I still had all of middle school, high school, and college to complete before I could get there. To pass the time, I joined Science Olympiad in middle school. Since I love school, I figured I might as well spend more time doing what I love, or learning, studying, and competing in science events. In 7th grade, when I made the varsity team, my teammates and I traveled to the University of Illinois in Champaign for the state competition. Even though the size and scope of the college and competition scared and amazed me, I knew I'd prepared all year for those moments. To my bewilderment, not only did I receive second in each of my events, but also our team won the state title. We were moving on to the national competition. Despite the fact that it was a nice bonus to travel to Washington, D.C. for nationals, I learned that day that I had the ability to achieve on a broader level. For the first time, I knew I could be part of something greater, like winning a state competition, and it was incredibly empowering. Of course, my team and I would not have even reached the state competition without our dedicated coaches and the materials we were given to study and prepare. Adversely, most of the teams did not do so well as we did because they simply did not have the resources that I had in District 25. With the same confidence that I first felt as a 7th grade girl, I aim to enter education policy after college. I want to help America's failing education system such that every district has the resources that I had in District 25. In the end, I hope to ensure every teacher has the ability to teach in new and unconventional methods to better reach students like Ms. Maltese did for me. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Carolyn. Our next recipient is Lisa Dykman. Lisa? I knew it. Lisa Dykman. It's that one thing I meant to do before coming up here today. Thanks. Lisa is a senior at Rolling Meadows High School and attended Westgate Elementary and South Middle Schools. She is passionate about serving her school and community, logging 300 service hours over the past 4 years. As co-president of Prospect's Interact Club, Lisa was involved in a fundraising project that builds homes for child slaves in Ghana. On a mission trip to Ibarra, Ecuador, she tutored children in Spanish and worked in after-school programs. Amazing. Locally, Lisa has tutored for 4 years at local elementary school and was the student leader for 2 of those 4 years. Lisa has been recognized as Prospect Student of the Year in biology and was an AP Student of the Quarter in World History, Psychology, and Spanish. Lisa is a straight-A honor roll student at the top of her class. She will attend North Central College. Lucky for so many, she is planning a nonprofit career where she can help develop third world countries. Please welcome Lisa Dykman and her family and Ms. Ellen Wayno from South Middle School.
Good morning. District 25 has blessed me with some incredibly gifted teachers. I'm lucky enough to have one of them with me here today. Mrs. Wayno was my teacher for honors literature in both 7th and 8th grade. Throughout 12 years of education, she's been one of my favorite teachers. At first, her class was one of my hardest, and it was so difficult to get up and go to class every day. But it turned out to be one of the best classes I've ever had, even when it was difficult and confusing. I learned so much from her, and I felt completely prepared for high school. I remember holding a mock trial, performing a Midsummer's Night Dream, and so many more fun games that made our learning both exciting and accessible. One of the best parts about Mrs. Wayno's class was all of the one-on-one attention we received. This has been one of my favorite parts of being in District 25. All of my teachers always took the time to help their students individually, whether it be crafting a thesis statement or working through a difficult math problem. I never doubted for a minute that our teachers truly cared about us and wanted us to succeed. They always gave 110% to make us the best that we could be. I can't thank the district enough for the wonderful opportunities you've given me with this scholarship. So many of my dreams for college are now more attainable because of it. It's been such a gift to be a student in District 25. Those were some of my favorite years and my fondest memories. I learned a lot from the most amazing teachers, and I had the most incredible experiences. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. So our next recipient is Meline Hume. Meline is a Rolling Meadows High School senior and attended Westgate Elementary and South Middle Schools. She is a runner and a 4-year member of Rolling Meadows cross-country and track teams. Medeline's passion is in science and innovation. According to a Rolling Meadows teacher, she was a stable force on the Wild Stang robotics team. The team has a stellar record of achieving wins for 90% of the matches they entered in the past 4 years and winning the World Championship 3 times. They even went on to be recognized at the White House Science Fair in Washington, D.C. Meline volunteers her time through her church where she teaches Sunday school, is a senior acolyte, and a youth leader for the Heifer Project. Meline is an honor roll student, received National Merit Commendation, and is a National Technical Honors Society student. It's a mouthful. She plans to attend University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, pursue a degree in finance, and have a career in technology management. Please welcome Meline Hume, her family, and Ms. Katie Kaufman from South Middle School.
Thank you. My speech is a little bit crossed out, and there are a lot of additions, so bear with me here. District 25 and the opportunities I was afforded imparted on me a remarkable academic experience that fully prepared me for high school and beyond. The teachers I had and the experiences I shared were integral to my success as a student, and more importantly, as a person. It cultivated in me diverse and unique passions that I've held with me to this day. Science Olympiad and the coaches, more specifically Mrs. Kaufman, have altered my perspective and changed the expectations I hold for myself. She had the faith in me I needed to see my goals through. Whether it was mapping isotopes or dating glacial cores, the subject did not matter. She taught me to be passionate and curious about the world and to embrace competition. She invested herself in my development, signing me up for Robocross, which led to a first place in the National Science Olympiad competition my 8th grade year, and motivated me to continue my passion in high school. My team Wild Stang's first place finish in the first Robotics World competition My sophomore year would not have been possible without her vision. Because she introduced me to robotics, I was able to be one part of a large group of hardworking and dedicated students that won the World Championship. Science Olympiad and first imparted on me the value of technology and education, especially for women, and science has continued to be a presence and a passion, both in class and out of it. District 25 has not only developed me in my extracurriculars, it has been the reason my academic and personal interests have been so diverse. Working heavily in science and math, I should love these subjects only, but literature has been a love of mine since I was little, and Mrs. Wayno, my English teacher in 7th and 8th grade, calcified my love for the written word. Shakespeare and Dickens became as familiar to me as the green locker in which I housed them. Dear old friends though they are, no 7th grader picks up classics of her own free will. Mrs. Wayno guided me through, reminding me every day by example how to love literature. I could not truly understand the depth of her patience until I became a Sunday school teacher myself. The State Illinois Science Olympiad competition takes place at the University of Illinois each year. It should come as no surprise then that U of I is where I'm studying next year. Champaign brings back memories of those state competitions, the excitement, the academic challenge, the support and friendships that still remain today. It's apparent that the experiences I had as a result of my teachers and District 25's commitment to Science Olympiad have impacted me and will continue to have an impact for years to come. My teachers and my coaches knew to put faith in me when I was a scrawny wisp of a 12-year-old, bad hair, braces, and all. So I'm very grateful to the board for this scholarship because I have learned that this district just keeps on giving and has inspired me to live up to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. Our next award recipient is Noren Jay. Noren is a senior at Rolling Meadows High School and attended West and South Middle Schools. An avid golfer, Noren played on the Rolling Meadows golf team for 4 years. She is also an active member in Rolling Meadows plays and musicals where she works as a costume crew member. Noren volunteers at Paddock Elementary School where she works with autistic children. She also serves through Amnesty International Mustangs Committed to Service and the Interact Club. I keep saying Internet Club. Oh, no, I lost my place. Her love of animals drew Noren to join the Anti-Cruelty Society Veterinarian Mentoring Program, which led her to work as a kennel assistant at the Arlington Heights Animal Hospital and sealed her desire to become a veterinarian. Noren is a Foreign Language Award winner, an honor roll student, a Student of the Quarter Award winner in French and AP History, and an IHSA Scholastic Achievement Award winner. Noren plans to attend Winona State and major in biology to prepare for veterinary school. Please welcome Noren Jay, her family, and Ms. Tiffany Marston from South Middle School.
Hi, good morning. I would first like to thank the PTA Council for choosing me for this honor, and my wonderful teachers. All of you have made such great contributes to my life, and Miss Marston, but most of us, I think, knew her as Miss Grish, and my family, and of course, my always supportive mother. Now I'm just going to read part of my speech, or my essay, sorry. Yes. Beep, 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 goes the sound of my alarm ringing in my little 10-year-old ears. I was thinking what I did every time I heard that infernal noise. I do not want to get up. But then I think, oh, it's Friday. That means I get to sit in the bathtub and read my favorite books. But the best part is that I get to do this at school. In Miss Kent's class, we would all take turns reading in the famous bathtub overflowing with colorful, fluffy pillows. Over the years, District 25 teachers made it possible for me to enjoy rising from my comfy bed each morning and going to school. I was always a hard worker and was taught that work comes before play. When I would come home every day after school, I would have to do all of my homework before going out and running with my friends. Of course, sometimes I did not enjoy this, but my teachers would continually reward me for having my homework, and now I can say that I'm very glad I got into the habit. For the most part, academics seemed to come pretty easy to me. But if there was anything I needed help with, my caring teachers were right there to offer a clever explanation. I learned at a very young age that being healthy is a critical part of living your life to the fullest. My dad went into cardiac arrest when I was little, and I knew that a healthy heart is very important. In gym class is not always the most fun, but Coach K always had amusing activities organized, whether it was bowling, rock wall climbing, or gymnastics, each one designed to be entertaining and keep us moving and healthy. My fondest memory was when Coach K set up the gym like a human heart. There were blue and red tunnels, scooters, and balls that act as veins that had oxygen in the blood, red, and those that did not, blue. We would all start out on the blue side with the blue scooter and ball, and we had to weave our way through the tunnels as fast as we could to get to the red side. Once there, we got a red scooter and ball, and we would race through the red tunnels. I could never get enough of this activity and got so excited every time we played it. As my love for science grew, this activity not only taught me about the heart, but also engaged me in a great workout. Later on in middle school, I joined track. Even though I was not that good, I got a lot out of the workouts and enjoyed being with some new friends. I did not join track in high school, but now I run about 3 miles a few times a week to keep in shape. My love for running will continue to keep me healthy throughout my life, thanks to the fact that I started learning the importance of exercise from Coach K. Now as I glance at the glowing green digits of my alarm clock at 5:30 a.m., I think about how close I am to finishing high school and moving on into the big world of college. I know that I could not have gotten this far without my many wonderful teachers, opportunities, and programs presented to me in District 25. This community has shaped me into a responsible, well-rounded young adult that is determined to succeed.
Thank you, Noreen. That alarm clock thing never goes away, by the way. Okay, now we're going to pop back to Annie Dunn. Annie is not with us today, but she is going to visit us remotely, and I want to tell you a little bit about her. Annie attended Westgate Elementary and South Middle Schools, then moved to Washington, D.C., where she attends a math, science, and computer science magnet school, Montgomery Blair High School. Annie runs on Blair's track team and was recently named Outstanding Senior for the varsity cross-country team. Her other passion is music, and her love for the violin began with District 25's Music for Youth program. She continues to play the violin in the Maryland Classic Youth Orchestra, Maryland All-State Orchestra, and Montgomery County Honors Orchestra. Annie volunteers in her school, tutoring students in math and science, and at service camp during the summers. A straight-A student, strong in math and science, Annie was selected as a summer intern to the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. She has been recognized in the Harvard Book Award, is an AP Scholar, a National Merit Scholarship finalist, and at the top in her class. Annie plans to attend Massachusetts Institute of Technology and major in chemical engineering. As I said, she cannot be here today, but was eager to share a few words with us. Before she does, however, I would like to recognize Sharon Kaunick from Windsor, who was the teacher that Annie invited today.
Hi, I'm Annie Dunn. I went to Westgate and then South through 8th grade, and the summer before 9th grade, I moved to Maryland, just outside of DC, where I go to the Blair Math, Science, Computer Science Magnet. I wish I could be there today. The menu sounded really good, but unfortunately the trip would probably cost me most of the scholarship, so please accept this video as, well, at least I made an appearance. So I was considering this PTA scholarship and why each of us students was chosen as a winner, and it occurred to me that we're sort of getting paid twice. because everything I do now that might be seen as impressive, all the things I enjoy, and basically that would get me a scholarship, I started in District 25. So when I was 4, I joined Music for Youth, generously supported by District 25. And thanks to those teachers, I got a terrific start on violin, which I carried with me all the way through to the culminating senior recital that I did just a few weeks ago. And in middle school at South, I started running, and cross country and track are now my main sports. And in 8th grade, the South PTA was kind enough to let a complete amateur design their website, and it was a great experience for me, and one that got me started in design and started a 4-year high school career of designing websites and t-shirts and flyers programs. So thanks, South PTA. And then there's academics. When I was in 1st and 2nd grade, I took math from Mrs. Kounick with a small group of kids who all later became my friends. And it was there that I discovered how much I like math and how much it makes sense to me. I'd like to thank Mrs. Kounick for both revealing and recognizing my affinity for math, and also for being here today, even though I'm not. I credit Mrs. Kounick, as well as my other math teachers, for giving me the background in math that I needed to succeed. If I didn't have that background, I definitely would not have been able to succeed in the magnet, and my education would not be nearly as amazing as it has been. I'd also like to thank some of the teachers that have made an impact on me. Mrs. Feely, the Odyssey teacher at Westgate, for teaching us how to best get excommunicated in the Middle Ages. My 5th grade teacher, Miss Kent, or was she a camp counselor? There were so many songs. I can't remember. But also Mrs. Wayno for teaching the only class in which I've ever learned grammar, and also for putting up with our class's antics. And finally, Mrs. Hajduk, who was an especially supportive math teacher who allowed and encouraged me to excel. I believe most of us recipients owe all of our success to District 25. So the fact that the PTA is paying us for the work they've already done is ironic, but obviously we thank you for your generosity. We will use it well. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie, from the East Coast. Graham, I'd like to tell you a little bit about award recipient Caitlyn Ker. Caitlyn, would you like to come up with your family and your teacher? It's almost like we rehearsed this. You guys are great. Caitlyn is finishing her last year at Prospect High School and attended Windsor Elementary and South Middle Schools. She is a 4-year member of the Prospect Marching Band and has played in the concert band, symphonic band, and orchestra, winning several awards along the way. Keeping in shape for marching band, she is an all-conference cross-country runner. She has also been a cast member in several Prospect shows. Caitlyn excels in the French language. She was chosen to be a French teaching assistant for French 2-level classes, and she was one of 15 chosen to be part of Prospect's French exchange program. Caitlyn spends a good deal of time volunteering with her church, where she works with special needs children and their siblings, is a Sunday morning receptionist, and an orchestra member. She has been involved in Relay for Life for the past 8 years, where she has been team captain twice and won team awards every year. Caitlyn is a Silver Award Girl Scout, has received recognition from the National French Exam, and is an AP Scholar. Caitlyn will attend Hope College and major in History and French. Please welcome Caitlyn Ker, her family, and Mrs. Jackie Aprati from Windsor.
Good morning. Being a dyslexic student, I bring a unique challenge into the classroom. Dyslexia prevents my brain from naturally hearing and applying the 44 sounds of our alphabetic code. This disability presents obvious learning challenges in the subjects requiring spelling and reading, which in varying degrees is every subject. Dyslexia's silver lining for me is my brain is not constrained by linear thought, which allows me to thrive in the world of creativity. I am grateful for the layered support I receive from my teachers, District 25 School Board, and Windsor's PTA. Each group provided experiences integral in my growth as a student and a person. To reach me academically, my teachers used a variety of strategies to draw upon my strengths. Their specialties was the ABCs, not just the standard 26 letters of our alphabet, but rather acceptance, belief, and caring. They accepted me, the quirky kid who purposely wore mix-match socks, and they believed I could master reading and gently cared for my tender spirit. District 25's philosophy of embracing a fine arts program provided me with weekly instruction in art and music. These classes allowed me to experience success and gave me chances to thrive socially. I cannot imagine what my life would have become without these classes. Windsor's PTA board supported the Reflections Fine Arts competition. Unbeknownst to them, the Reflections program was an emotional life jacket for me as it coincided with my diagnosis as a dyslexic in first grade. This morning, I am joined by my fifth grade teacher, Ms. Schmidt, now known as Mrs. Aprati, and I'd like to share with you why she is special to me. In fifth grade, the big end-of-year event in her classroom was a spelling bee on the 50 states. By fifth grade, I knew with repeated study, I could memorize how to spell most words, so I studied and studied and studied. When the big day came and it was my turn, I was asked to spell the state of Maine. My desire to spell it correctly caused such anxiety that I misspelled it. M-A-I-N. Mercifully, after the spelling bee, we had recess, and I went alone to the furthest corner and began to cry. I was not alone for long when Mrs. Aprati found me and gave me a big hug. She reminded me that I was not the only one to misspell a word, but I wailed in humiliation. I had misspelled the easiest one of all. She paused a moment, and then she reminded me that I had created a beautiful and informative president's project. Your ability to accept my strengths and weaknesses was a pivotal moment for me. You then spoke a simple but powerful truth that has remained in my heart. Simply, no one can be good at everything. So thank you for those kind words and gentleness that day. While I have mastered many things, I will always be dyslexic. It is who I am, but I do not allow it to limit what I can achieve. Kudos to all my teachers who took the extra time to mentor me, genuinely care about me, and prepare me for the challenges ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlyn. I promised myself I would be okay and not cry. Okay, our next recipient is Kaylee Man. Kaylee, would you like to come up with your family and your teacher? Kaylee is a senior at Buffalo Grove High School and attended Ivy Hill Elementary and Thomas Middle Schools. She has been on Buffalo Grove's basketball and badminton teams and has been very involved in student government. She was class vice president, class representative, and an officer for SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions. Kaylee is Buffalo Grove's newspaper editor-in-chief. She has also served as opinion editor and news editor, and has placed in 2 IHSA state journalism competitions for news writing and feature writing. Outside of school, Kaylee spends time tutoring and mentoring at-risk middle school students in Consolidated School District 21. She also works as a crew leader for her church's Vacation Bible School. Kaylee was selected to attend Northwestern University Civic Education Program and to attend Indiana University's High School Journalism Institute. Kaylee is a straight-A student at the top of her class, a National Merit Commended student, a member of the National and Spanish Honor Societies, an Illinois State Scholar, an AP Scholar, and a High Honor student. She plans to attend the University of Notre Dame, where she will major in biology in preparation for a career in medicine. Please welcome Kaylee Man, her family, and Miss Annie Lee from Ivy Hill.
Good morning. I'm so honored to be here today, and my sincere thanks to the Arlington Heights Council of PTAs for this scholarship. I'd also like to introduce my teacher that I've asked to join me today, Miss Annie Lee, who is my 4th grade teacher at Ivy Hill. Also, a special thanks to my parents for their unwavering support throughout the years. District 25 has played a huge role in shaping both who I am today and what I hope to do in the future. I was the new kid when I came to Ivy Hill in 4th grade. I remember I couldn't sleep the night before the first day of school. Who would I eat lunch with? Who would I play with at recess? All those things that constitute a crisis in the mind of a 10-year-old kept me up that night. So, when I walked into Ivy Hill on that first day of school 8 years ago, I was nervous, to say the least. Fortunately for me, Miss Lee made the transition an easy one. She was so welcoming, and I instantly felt as though I belonged. In fact, in a parent-teacher conference a few months later, Miss Lee told my mom she had forgotten I was even new. She's also truly an exceptional teacher. For starters, she can take a difficult concept and make it easy to understand. In fact, I'd say she makes math just about as fun as it can possibly be. She's also the kind of teacher who instinctively understands what each student needs, whether it's extra challenges for gifted students or extra help for students who are struggling. And her warmth, insight, and openness to new ideas always made class discussions especially lively and fun. For me, making it to a STARS lunch where we got to eat lunch with Miss Lee was an especially strong motivation to get my homework turned in on time. My thanks, Miss Lee, for an amazing introduction to District 25. Another important lesson I learned from the Ivy Hill teachers, students, and parents in that first year as the new kid is that small acts of kindness can make a huge difference in a person's life. They certainly did for me. And that memory influenced my decision to join service clubs in high school and to become a mentor and tutor for middle school students over the past several years. Another special memory for me was the Ivy Hill Fun Fair. My parents were especially excited when I came home 2 years in a row with not 1, not 2, but 3 goldfish I'd won in a ring toss game. Things came full circle when I worked as a volunteer at the Ivy Hill Fun Fair the past couple of years with the BG class board. As a 10-year-old participant, I just thought of it as a great time. As a teenage volunteer, I realized how much time, effort, and planning parents put forth to give their kids that great time. So, a special thanks to all the parents, my own included, who plan the classroom parties and myriad of events that make elementary school such a special time. My easy transition to District 25 was just the start. When I arrived at Thomas, the opportunities for learning and growth were endless. My language arts teacher, Miss Berner, offered a totally new outlook on reading and writing, and we could write about anything that interested us. This opportunity to develop my own stories really laid the foundation for my role as a writer and editor on the student newspaper in high school. And while I loved literature in elementary school and middle school, my interest in science also took off during those years because of the imaginative District 25 teachers who found ways to bring science to life. An especially pivotal experience for me at Thomas was Carrier Connections class in 8th grade. I had the opportunity to spend a week shadowing doctors in several different specialties, and that experience really got me interested in medicine as a career. In fact, I'm planning to major in biology and minor in journalism in college with the hopes of becoming a doctor. My experiences at both Ivy Hill and Thomas helped me grow into the person I am today. My curiosity and drive both come from District 25. However, so do my empathy and compassion for those around me. Now, as I prepare to be the new kid once again next year in college, I'll always remember the kindness, the opportunities, and the outstanding education I received from District 25. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee. I think being the new kid will be easier this time around. Our next recipient is Kevin Mcnali. Kevin is a senior at Prospect High School and attended Windsor Elementary and South Middle Schools. Kevin is a member of Knight's Way, the math team, a link leader, a member of the Academic Bowl MSL East All Conference team. An integral member of the DECA Business Club, Kevin contributed to a first-place win in state in the Principles of Finance category and went on to win the top 20 in the world at internationals in California. Kevin gives back to his community by tutoring middle school students and shopping for Christmas presents with ELL preschool students. He has been involved in many sports: football, wrestling, volleyball, ultimate frisbee, scuba diving, and athletic training. Kevin is president of the National Honor Society, a National Merit Scholarship Competition Commended Scholar, an AP Scholar with Distinction, a Prairie State Achievement Award winner, and an Illinois State Scholar. Kevin plans to attend the University of Notre Dame and major in engineering. Please welcome Kevin Mcnali, his family, and Mr. Ken Brogny from Windsor.
I'd like to start by thanking my parents, my mom who's here, and my dad who was not able to be here due to a meeting that he couldn't move, Mr. Brogny, and my two sisters who taught me that patience really is a virtue. District 25 is a fantastic school district that prepared me to succeed in high school and achieve what I have been able to today. I firmly believe that the number one reason Windsor and South were such great places to learn and grow was because of the people there, both in front of the class and in the desks. And thanks to the fact that it was the community school district, there were always plenty of familiar faces around. When I went to Windsor, my first day of school was not so daunting because I knew many of my classmates from around the neighborhood. And the transition to South Middle School was not so terrible either because I had already met many of these new faces through sports and other activities. I never had to leave my friends behind, and even today, my closest friends are some of the people that I met at Windsor. My fellow students helped me to develop socially, but it was my teachers who provided everything else and that little something extra that made my experience so special. My second grade teacher, Miss Bolsinger, had nearly as much shelf space as the school library, and she helped foster a love of reading that I carry with me to this day. The Odyssey teacher, Miss Short, taught vital critical thinking skills and offered an extra creative problem-solving challenge that wasn't available in my regular classwork. My fifth grade teacher, Mr. Brogny, knew that I was high energy, and either out of the goodness of his heart or the direct orders of Principal Kritzman, helped straighten me out before I headed off to South. And then my seventh grade teacher, Mr. Kawai, threw out the lesson plans that he was given in favor of his own, and as a first-year teacher, taught me more about writing and reading than my English teacher did my freshman year in high school. Throughout my long and storied career at District 25 schools, one thing that stands out in particular is the constant presence of a challenge and an opportunity to foster creative thinking. Programs beyond normal coursework, such as Odyssey, and teachers like Mr. Brogny, who challenge students based on their individual ability rather than a generalized standard, made the experience feel as though it was personally tailored to help me succeed. At South, a unique elective called Industrial Technology provided an opportunity for hands-on interaction with basic engineering technologies. These details might seem relatively insignificant on their own. However, as a whole, they helped to steer me into the challenging math and science-based courses I am taking now to prepare me to begin pursuing my goal of an engineering degree without wasting any time, starting on day one of college. So, in closing, I would like to thank District 25 for 9 fantastic years and this scholarship to help me finish what they started. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Our next candidate is Rachel Mickey. Rachel? Have your crew? All right. Rachel is in her last year at Rolling Meadows High School and attended Westgate and South Middle Schools. An avid volleyball player, Rachel played for Rolling Meadows and club volleyball teams. She has 2 major volleyball titles, the Daily Herald All-Area All-Conference Volleyball and MLS Conference Volleyball Blocking Leader. She was captain of both teams. In addition to blocking and spiking, Rachel has played on Rolling Meadows softball and track and field teams. Rachel is a member of the Future Educators of America and team, where she tutored elementary students during the school year. She also volunteers through Mustangs Committed to Service, Feed My Starving Children, Northwest Special Recreation Association Day Camp, and Vacation Bible School. Rachel is at the top of her class and a member of 3 honor societies: the National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, and Spanish Honor Society. She is an Illinois State Scholar and AP Scholar. Rachel plans to attend Carthage College and will decide on her major down the road. Please welcome Rachel Mickey, her family, and Miss Dana Kent from Westgate.
Hi, I'm so grateful to the PTA Scholarship Committee for selecting me to receive this generous award. I'd also like to thank the PTA parents and members for the influence they have had on the students of District 25 and for helping to make it an exceptional place for students to learn. The elementaries and middle schools I attended were positive environments where I was encouraged to learn and grow every day. I appreciate every single one of my teachers, including a special teacher of mine, Ms. Kent, who is here with me today. I am thinking of becoming a teacher myself, and Ms. Kent is the perfect role model. She always had a great attitude and knew exactly how to make learning fun. Most students learn how to write essays while sitting at a desk, but in Ms. Kent's class, we learned how to write while sitting in the infamous bathtub in the classroom. It was tough, but I had to learn to share it with Annie, Noreen, and the 20 other students in the class. When learning is a positive experience, that is when it is the most valuable. All of the teachers I had while I was a part of District 25 knew exactly how to do this. With different games and interactive activities, students were immersed in the lessons instead of just listening to them, which has made it possible for the information to stick with me long after I left the classroom. We were encouraged to enjoy learning, which has allowed me to embrace high school and will help me to get the most out of college. Now, here I am with so many promising opportunities for the future, thanks in part to the time I spent as a District 25 student. The teachers I had gave me all of the tools to be successful in life. They gave me the core values, the education, and the social skills to pursue any career I choose and to live the life I want. I am very grateful for my elementary and middle school experiences, and I have my District 25 teachers and the PTA to thank for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. I have to say, I'm super curious about that bathtub we keep hearing about. Our next candidate, or I should say recipient, is Lauren Nagel. Lauren? Oh, nice and close. Lauren is enjoying her last year at Hersey and attended St. James, Patton, and Thomas Middle Schools. She is active on student council, where she was junior class president, student body president, and served on the executive board. Lauren has been very involved with Hersey's yearbook, where she served as editor and editor-in-chief, giving 10 hours of time each week. Lauren continues to give her time in Hersey's Service Over Self Club and Best Super Buddies, where she is an officer and a leader. Outside of school, Lauren works at Lutheran Home for Elderly and Assisted Living, is a peer tutor and board member, volunteers at Lutheran General Children's Hospital, a safe haven homeless shelter, and Special Olympics. You may see Lauren this summer as she is a lifeguard, swim instructor, and swim team coach for the Arlington Heights Park District. Lauren is a Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership staff member, a member of the Daily Herald Leadership Team, and an AP Scholar. Lauren plans to attend the University of Illinois to pursue a career in business. Please welcome Lauren, her family, and Mrs. Erin D'Amico from Thomas Middle School.
Hello. I would first off like to thank the PTA for such an amazing honor. I'm truly honored to be here. And of course, a big thank you to my parents and family members, and also my teachers throughout District 25, like Mrs. D'Amico. When I transferred into District 25 in 4th grade, I walked up to the doors of Patton Elementary School feeling nervous, excited, and a little bit scared. It was a tough concept to grasp of being 9 years old and having to transfer to a new school, making new friends, having new teachers, and experiencing a new culture. From the moment I began my time at District 25, however, I knew that I was about to embark on an educational experience that would be unlike anything else you can find at another school district. My parents raised me on the saying, "To those whom much is given, much is expected." And it's safe to say that my time in District 25 gave me more than I could ever gotten at any other school district. School District 25 not only gave me a top-tier education, but also life lessons, experiences, and opportunities that I have and will continue to carry with me throughout my life. Being a student in District 25, the teachers and administrators work tirelessly to provide more than just education to their students. Teachers like Mrs. D'Amico went above and beyond each day to make their classroom a home away from home, always filled with warm fuzzies. When I look back on my 5 years as a student at Patton and Thomas, not only do I recall the hands-on and unique learning experiences, but I think back to the memories and life lessons that continue to put a smile on my face today. Whether it was Titanic Day in 5th grade, a creative social studies project in 7th grade, or spending lunch and after-school hours in a teacher's company, I was given a tremendous amount of moments that stick with me to this day. District 25 has given me more than I could have ever asked for. And as I get ready to move on to college, I know that everything I was given as a student in District 25 will forever be a part of my life. While I don't know what my future holds, I am certain that District 25 will continue to play a key role in my life, and I am eager to make the District 25 community proud, as I know you are expecting much from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. And our final recipient today, Nick Schwingback. Nick? Nick is wrapping up his senior year at Prospect High School and attended Dryden Elementary and South Middle Schools. Nick is a varsity tennis player and the manager for the girls' varsity tennis team. He is a 4-year member of the French Club, a Writing Center tutor, and a member of the Knight's Way Leadership Council. When away from Prospect, Nick volunteers at his church in the youth group and plays bass guitar in the contemporary worship band. Nick is very active with the Boy Scouts of America, where he has achieved the highest and most prestigious honor in the program, an Eagle Scout. Now he is an Assistant Scoutmaster. Nick is an Honor Society student and an AP Scholar. He plans to go to the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana and major in accounting. Please welcome Nick Schwingback, his family, and Ms. Sherry Meehan from South Middle School.
Good morning. I'd just like to start off by sincerely thanking the PTA and District 25 for this generous scholarship. Arlington Heights District 25 provided me with a strong academic foundation. Having the opportunity to attend both Dryden and South Middle School was such a privilege. As a high school senior, it's fun to look back on all the experiences I had during my days at Dryden and South. I lived it up as a little kid in elementary school where it all began and continued to spread my wings into middle school. I had so many great teachers who took the time to help me become the best that I could be. I owe them a big thank you because they really helped me and shaped the person I am today. My days at Dryden Elementary School set me up to succeed in both middle school and high school. Dryden taught me how to make friends, and some of my best friends are people who I met there. My years at Dryden are also set a nice foundation for my schoolwork. I truly enjoyed going to school. As a kid in class, I was a kid in class who always wanted to stay after and clean the chalkboards for my teachers. I hated to miss a day of class. Although I had strong oral communication skills, I struggled in both reading and writing. My fourth grade teacher, Ms. Beringer, who's here today, helped me recognize that I was not performing to my true potential in reading and suggested I get help. She recommended I receive some support from the school. I wasn't so sure I would enjoy being pulled out of class a few times a week because I love being in the classroom so much, but I knew that it was something I needed to do. My parents trusted her judgment and began setting up meetings with Dryden's reading specialist, and that's where things started to turn around for me. Once I moved over to South, I learned many other valuable skills. I still needed guidance in middle school with writing, and teachers at South were there for me, starting with my sixth grade teacher, Ms. Meehan. She was a teacher who encouraged me to develop my reading habits. She was also enthusiastic, even though most of the time I didn't really enjoy reading. From all the fun games we used to play, like the chair game and the lotion game, she made class really fun. Because of Miss Meehan, I started to take reading much more seriously, and by the time I got to high school, on my placement exam, I was able to go into honors English. My teachers at South recognized my potential and prepared me for the rigor of high school. It made me realize I'd be reading and writing for the rest of my life. More importantly, they taught me how to enjoy it. In addition to my academic development in school, District 25 also helped me develop as a leader. I've acquired many leadership skills over my young lifetime, and a major contributor to this was my active involvement in Boy Scouts of America. I'm an Eagle Scout, which is the highest and most prestigious honor a boy can earn in the program. Only about 4 boys who start Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts make it to Eagle. I truly believe that District 25 provided me the tools necessary to achieve this rank, focusing on a goal, perseverance, and hard work. I organized and led a service project that involved sending care packages to combat troops in both Iraq and Afghanistan. Many people ask me where I go to college and what I'd like to do professionally. My answer is I will be attending the University of Illinois in Champaign and studying accounting. However, one question that many people do not ask me is how I'll use my education to have a successful career. My answer to this question is a little bit tougher. Not many students my age think of how their education will benefit them once they are out of college. I know I will make the most of my higher education. I know how important good communication skills are and relationships are to a successful college education. I learned how to listen and talk to my teachers at both Dryden and South. Long after graduating from college, I want to continue to make a positive impact on people's lives. These values, skills, hopes, and dreams all began in the awesome buildings, blocks, and amazing education that I was fortunate enough to receive in Arlington Heights School District 25. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. On behalf of the Scholarship Committee, I would like to thank everyone for attending. We hope you enjoyed meeting our 13 fantastic scholarship recipients. I know you will join me in wishing them good luck and best wishes for a long and wonderful and productive future. It has been an honor to be involved with this program. Thank you all and have a great day.